Welcome to the Old Boar Plays City Skylines, where I'm building MegaCity, the biggest, coolest city I can build. My goal is to reach 1 million people, so stick around. In this video, I'm putting in the road network for the downtown area, and I put a loop around the city off camera so that I wouldn't bore you with putting in highways and interchanges, but I'll show you that shortly. This is our first little town where our population popped down on the map. The downtown area is fairly far from here. You can see the loop that I've put around the city. I've got about 10 different interchanges that's going to connect up all the little populated places and help those Sims easily get to work. This is the downtown area. So I'll be putting in several of these little towns around the loop so that they can fulfill the needs of the offices and high-tech jobs in the heart of the city. I'll eventually create a train network that will help them get to and from easily. I'll try to keep industry on the outside of the MegaCity loop. As this is the second video in the MegaCity series, I thought I would take time to talk about the mods that I'm using. The mods that come into the game, of course I'm playing with a few of those. Unlimited money so that I can build out the road network, and everything unlocked so that I can put in trains. First, 81 tiles 2 is pretty much essential to this build because I'm going to need to build beyond the 25 squares the game gives you. 81 tiles also really helps me putting in the water pipes and electrical lines for me. I'm using the Acme camera mod, which allows me to zoom in and out more easily. The AD Cloud Replacer puts some moving clouds in front of my cube map. I use advanced vehicle options to make sure that certain vehicles don't come into my game, and I'm not for sure if I really need that now that I can change the vehicles and trains with the system the game's provided. I'm using Ambient Sounds Tuner to change the sounds to something more realistic. I'm using Bob, the tree and prop replacer, so that I can get just a little bit more realism in my trees, and so that I can remove a lot of props. The camera movement mod allows me to move around in a cinematic form. Cinematics Camera Extended is so that I can give you some cinematics during this series. I could probably uninstall Compatibility Report now that I have all the mods that I'm going to use in the game. Cube Map Replacer puts more realistic clouds in your background so that the AD Cloud Replacer clouds can flow in front of it. Using Daylight Classic to change the lighting of the game just a bit, and also so that I can see those more realistic clouds. I've got dynamic resolution so that I can bump up the resolution just a bit, and so that I can see my FPS easily. It's important to me to know how much FPS I'm getting as my city grows. Extra landscaping tools is something that I use a lot, and had I built this map in the map editor, I might not need that mod. Find it, and I'm not for sure, since I'm not using a lot of assets in the game, I'm not for sure if I'm going to need that mod that much, but it's always been a mainstay for me. Forest Brush Revisited allows me to plop down some trees so that I can do a little bit of asset detailing around the areas that I want. FPS Booster supposedly boosts my FPS. The Harmony mod is a dependency a lot of other mods depend on. That's a necessity. Hide It allows me to hide a lot of the things that I don't want to see in the game, such as seagulls and certain props that come in all over. Loading Screen mod is very important. It's going to use the same meshes in a lot of assets. Move It is probably one of my favorite and one of the most important mods to me. I use it all the time. Network Anarchy is another mod that's very important to me. Network Multi-Tool is also one of my very favorite mods that I use quite a bit. I might be able to do without it, but I probably wouldn't and just sacrifice the performance for it. No Problem Notifications is not a necessary mod, but it keeps hundreds of icons from coming into my game, distracting me from building. I can always use the info views to see if I have any problems. Parking lot snapping allows me to put in little parking lots here and there. This is probably an FPS hog, but I really like to put in my own parking lots. Patch Loader mod, I think, makes sure that all my mods are up to date every time I load the game. Picker is a very important mod to me. Keeps me from having to open up the menus and scroll down and look for the thing that I want to put in my map. Play It allows me to change the longitude and latitude of my game, giving a different lighting effect. I also move it down to about 80%, which also gives a little bit more of a realistic speed to the game. Your Sims aren't walking so fast. It'll also allow me to turn on the day and night cycle or rain if I want to, without having to go into my options menu. Precision engineering is very important to me because I like to build out grids knowing exactly how many units I'm using, along with many other things. The Railway Replacer mod is probably one of the mods that's going to cause me the most trouble in the end. I have to have my trains. I have a series all about Railway 2 if you'd like to check that out. Rico Revisited allows me to plop down wherever I want, whatever I want, any kind of building or house. I really like that a lot. Road Colors Changer ++ allows me to have a little bit darker roads in my game. I'm able to see them better when I'm up high above the map. Ron, the network replacer, I'll be using once, maybe twice in the game, is I'll need to replace all the vanilla train tracks when I put in my new Railway 2 tracks. If my game gets too slow, I could always use Ron again, come back in, replace the Railway 2 tracks with the vanilla tracks. Transfer controller is pretty important if you want to keep your traffic off the roads. You can tell all of your service vehicles in each little district to serve only those districts. You can also tell cargo to go to specific areas on your map. I have a video on that if you'd like to check it out. Ultimate Level of Detail is a visual mod, and I like to use it so that my trees aren't fading in and fading out every time I zoom in and out of my map. Undo It simply allows me to undo what I just did if I don't like it. Unified UI keeps all of my mod icons together. And finally, yet another toolbar allows my toolbar to be just a little bit more user-friendly. So looking over the list of these mods, I could probably do without half of them. And so I'm not only building a megacity, I'm testing the game to see if I can get away with using a lot of those mods and not have to uninstall them. Most of them are comfort mods. They allow me to build what I want to build where I want to build it. So if my game was to get too slow, one of the first things to go would probably be the AD Cloud Replacer and the Cube Map Replacer. Then the Ambient Sound Tuner, as I've kind of become spoiled listening to those really nice sounds. So why do I mention all of that? As I'm trying to get to 1 million people, I don't know how many things I'm going to be able to use in order to be able to keep playing. So I've had to think about very carefully which mods I'm using and which ones that I might be able to do without. I'm wondering if I'm going to need Traffic Manager President Edition, as it allows me to change the speed limit. Changing the speed limit changes how your Sims get from one place to the other. They're going to take the fastest path available. So we'll find out. These first 2 videos in the series have served as tips to help you get out to 1 million in population. Technically, this is all theory, as I've only played a game out to a little over 500,000 people, but that was several years ago, and my computer was much slower. I've also learned quite a bit since then, so I'm confident I'll be able to get out to 1 million. Hopefully, I'll be able to do it with a game that's playable. My goals are to have happy Sims with enough jobs, decent traffic, about 75%, and a fair FPS, around 30. So I hope you've enjoyed these tip videos. And thank you for watching the old boar play City Skylines. Take care now.